and welcome back to Always Off Brand. I am your co-host, Summer Jubelier, along with Scott Ohsman.
Good morning, Summer.
Good morning. It's Friday. We're in a good mood. Scott, you got a question for me? You were about to ask and you stopped.
Well, I just have to. I'm a little tired today. Okay, it's football season, as you know. I do the play-by-play for high school
Yes.
sports. We had a big Thursday night game last night, out late, and then everybody expects for me to complain about my animals. And my old one, the 14-year-old Fiona, she just can't go through the night now without getting up and having diarrhea or some type of little, like, I don't even know what it is, but anyway, it's driving me crazy. I get home, I'm home late. I'm like, just please give me a night. Just give me one night. That's all I want. But no, 1:30 in the morning, she's just on the door. It's just so, and then I had to get up. Anyway, no one's crying. But hey, I got another big football game tonight. Back to back. Back to back. But what the question I did want to ask you, I just want to set that up. I might cut that entire thing. Summer, when are you inviting us over for dinner? Because we have not discussed, and Haley wants to know about the dinner because she wants to hear all your feedback from when you guys, the Jubeliers, came over for dinner.
Okay, we can discuss it when she gets on.
Yeah.
But why don't we have a Shabbat dinner?
Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey.
We'll figure it out on a Friday night and have you over. Although I could take it back. They have hockey on Friday night.
Hockey every night. I talked to you yesterday. You're like, it's hockey.
Can we brunch? Can we have you over for brunch?
We love a good brunch.
All right. Well, I'll figure it out. I mean, nothing like, giving me more pressure and things to do.
Well, I'm sorry, but turnabout is extremely fair play.
I mean, how long did it take you to accept me pushing myself to come over for dinner? 12 years? I mean, how long did it take? So I will do the same.
No, you didn't get real obnoxious about it until like a couple years ago.
This is true. So
it was the mystery. How are you though? Other than how are you doing? I really do. How are you dropping you now? Reese is off to school. This is big boy shit.
This is stressful. You know what? They always say, like, as you get older. Sorry. I'm getting text messages. See, this is what's going on. God, how do I even restart this?
Bring us into the Jubelier world.
It's chaos. I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I sustain. I'm looking
at all these. Do it. I know how you do it. You hire out. That's how you do it.
But I can't hire enough. They're just not you know what? So, example, I have these cute little pots in front of my front door. I want you to know, for 11 months out of the years, those things sit with dead plants inside of them. And I'm like, can I just hire someone to put pretty stuff around my house, like florals and just like, but no, I can't. Everyone wants to do full landscaping. I'm like, I'll pay. Like, what? Tell me what you'll charge me. Come by my house once a month, plant new plants, water, do whatever. If they're dead, they're dead. It's survival of the fittest here in the Jubelier yard.
I might have a guy for you.
Oh, perfect.
I
knew it.
Let's just concentrate on the word might. I might have a guy.
All right. Just like you had a dishwasher guy, or no, a washing machine dude, and I call him up. He's like, dude, I retired.
Well, that was
you were no help.
That was
you were zero help. You're like, I've got a guy. Here I am thinking I have like the Jewish hookup, and you're like, nope, guy's dead. He retired. He's dead.
Hey, Clint put in his time. Okay, I didn't understand. That was unfortunate.
I couldn't believe it.
He was good. God, I'm sorry you missed him. He was so good.
I'm stoked for our guest today.
Are you?
And I think questioning. He can hear us.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Yes, I'm excited for our guest today.
I am too.
Let's roll that beautiful music you've got queued up, and let's get going.
That wasn't our best open.
I know.
God.
We can retry it later.
Can we? All right, let's start the music.
It's like really opened strong earlier.
Yeah, I know you did. Right before we hit record, you came at it real good. That's a hook. That we would have kept a listener.
Yeah.
All right, let's start the music. Let it sink in now, ladies and gentlemen. Bring him to the YouTube stage, which, by the way, you can check on Always About Brand. He hails from Florida, but then he moved up the coast. He was in New York. He's here. He's there. He's in the Philadelphia area. He's got a big football game coming up, Eagles, Chiefs. I'm not going to mention that. Then he said, you know what? Amazon's cool, but I love all this other e-com stuff. So he said, why don't I just start an entire agency called BlueTuskr, which I want to know more about. He's also the host of the Ecom Show podcast, which I have the privilege of being on later this month. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing to the stage Andrew Maff.
Whoop, whoop.
What an awesome intro.
Andrew,
I want you, when I want to like enter a room, I want Scotty to do it
everyone
forever.
does.
Like a wrestling guy.
Yeah, I am.
Andrew, I have to know though. I mean, you've only been in Philly for 5 years. Are you an Eagles fan? Careful with your answer.
So I am an Eagles fan. The Eagles are my second team. I am a diehard Steelers fan, actually.
This will be done when this comes out. It'll be done. But the Seahawks are playing the Steelers.
They are.
Andrew, Rodgers, yes or no?
Decent first week. I wasn't mad at it. I still think like I thought it was the Jets. I thought for sure if he's gonna show up, he's gonna blow him out of the water. And like it was a little too close for me, but
I would love to make this a sports talk show, as Summer knows, and I'll just
I'm riveted.
I'm tied this up. Aaron Rodgers basically created the FU tour when everyone thought he was dead.
Yeah, well, I saw him on that. What's that show where they follow them with the camera? Why am I forgetting what it's called?
Quarterback?
No, that was good though. Was he?
Oh, Hard Knocks.
His own Netflix
Hard Knocks.
special.
Hard Knocks. I love Hard
yeah,
Knocks. So I saw him on that, and
I'm telling you, he's pissed, which is a problem.
He's pissed.
But anyway, I think your Steelers are going to win, to be honest. Seahawks suck. Let's get back into e-com and all those things.
Okay.
So we're going to start. You can check in on the LinkedIn, your origin story. I told you like 7 days ago, go to Ecom Show podcast, listen, go watch. You just told your whole life story on that, which I had the opportunity to check out. But one of the things that caught my ear is you cannot stand Amazon. Yeah. And please tell us more.
So to give you the short version of it, really the main reason I just can't stand Amazon is just because they have. It's like I know we kind of chatted about this a little bit already, but like it's like your family. Like you got to deal with them.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean you like them, but they're there.
The drunk uncle shows up again, and you have to let him in.
Yeah, and it's kind of there's pros and cons to stuff too, right? Like you think with the Amazon side, for years and years, they'd suspend you just for the hell of it. So I know part of my story I was telling was I was in-house at like this 8-figure brand. I had just moved to the area. The wife and I had just signed a mortgage. I had just started this company. I started working at this company for a few months, and mid Q4, we're at peak. Credit cards can only go so far, so we change out a credit card. They assume it's fraud, shut the entire account down for 2 weeks, and I am freaking out because I'm like, I just do more. Like I thought I'm out of a job.
Yeah.
Luckily, the guy I worked with was just amazing, and so he was able to figure it out and get us back up within a couple weeks, and so it wasn't that bad. But the fear of the lack of sleep for those 2 weeks was like, okay, this is ridiculous. So then I pivoted everything we were doing, like, hey, let's not be so reliant on this ridiculous channel. Now, as time has gone on, I feel like they've gotten a little bit better with that kind of stuff of just randomly suspending people. But the problem is now is they've made it a little bit easier to get onto Amazon and to start selling product. And so now it's really crowded. So now you've got CPCs are going up and competition from overseas is coming. And so margins are getting crushed and you can't really increase your pricing because it's mostly overseas sellers. And so your margins are horrible. So it's just, I'm going to freak out in a minute. It just bothers. It drives me crazy.
Keep going.
Yeah.
It's, a lot of the Amazon sellers, especially ones that are just solely on Amazon, they get really, really nitpicky about tiny little things that I just like for the bigger picture. Like you could put so much more effort into building your brand elsewhere and it'll still improve your Amazon business. We did a bunch of tests.
I love it.
Several years ago where we basically we left Meta ads flat. At the time it was Facebook ads, but we left Facebook ads flat. We left Amazon flat, kind of got like a baseline month. And then the next month, we did the same thing, but we increased Meta ads just by 10%. Almost every single brand, we saw about a 6 to 7% supplemental increase on their website because that's where the traffic was going. But then about a 3 to 4% jump on Amazon, just from people leaving Amazon, going like. So I was like, this is, if you grow off Amazon, it's going to grow your Amazon business.
Yeah, well, I don't know what brand you were working with, but Andrew, my background is I was in the agency world for 10 years. It's hard. It's brutal. So I am
Yeah,
impressed that you had a brand that would allow you to do that. First of all.
it was a
Second of
fun.
all, it's oh, there's a story there. Let's get to that. It is really hard for an e-commerce director to say, "Hey, look, CMO, CEO, I'm going to take a pause. We're going to keep everything. We're going to pull back on Amazon and we're going to do some meta ads and we're going to see what happens." I'm like, well, can you have a direct line that shows that it increases sales? It's like, no, I can't, because once they go into the Amazon app, I lose attribution. I can't see
Yeah.
what's going on. And so, one, I want to know about this brand. And two, how did you get someone to trust you to do this? And how did they kind of pitch this to their team to be like, look, we got to try this?
We paid for it, so we
That helps.
more or less. So we knew this was a common complaint, right? It was meta ads aren't working for us. They don't work for us, blah, blah. And when you go, hey, like we've got heat map, scroll tracking, we've got all the fun stuff set up on your website, we can point out some clear conversion rate issues, and they don't want to do anything about it. And so it's like,
Oh my
okay,
God,
which is a
Andrew,
different problem.
You're giving me PTSD.
Yeah. It's the Todd, after this, you got to tell me how you got out. So we knew, like, okay, but we're also running their Amazon ads, and we would see when like Facebook ads would start doing really well, we would see just branded traffic would increase. So that was all we were keeping an eye on to kind of like have some assumptions.
Smart.
And so then what we did is we had several brands start to do the whole thing that these people love to do, which is like, oh, meta ads aren't working, so let's just completely kill it. And so they kill meta ads, and then literally their next question is like, why isn't Amazon doing well? And it's like, oh my God. So you got to go back into the whole process. And so basically what we did is we go, look, here's what we're going to do. You're not going to spend another $1 over this. We're going to give you 10% more of your meta ad spend. And you're just going to leave it flat for 2 months. You're not going to spend another $1, but we're going to cover the 10% increase for you if this assumption doesn't work. So if it does work, then you're going to cover it. So I think we got like 6 or 7 brands to do it. And I think there was like one brand where like that didn't really work for them. And so it was,
because the creative sucked. It's all right.
It was more or less. So it was what we used to do was that. So then after we figured this out, right, I used to just create like these custom buttons. So we used to use like available on Amazon, just send people straight to the listing. Because then our logic was I can actually prove how many people were driving to Amazon. The problem is like, are you incentivizing the user now to go because you have the button? But like, deal with it. Finally, use Amazon attribution. So we can track who actually converted, more or less, because as you know, it's not perfect. But
yeah, let's just sort for our listeners. Amazon touts this Amazon attribution. It's the idea of it's great, but should the user use the Amazon app, it does not track. Yeah, and we know about 80% of the users are using it. So keep that with a grain of salt.
Exactly. So it's definitely not a perfect model, especially if you're doing mostly traffic through social media ads, because most of those people are on their phone. So it doesn't entirely work the way you want it
to your defense, Andrew, at the time when it came out, I don't know when this was, it was a huge deal.
It was a huge deal.
Huge deal. I mean, because we had nothing. I mean, it was at least something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what we would do is we would take like, okay, of this link that's going to this ASIN, you made X amount of revenue. We were able to track X amount of clicks. And so what we would do is we would divide those and we would come up with like a click value. And so just like you would do with B2B, right, where you would kind of figure out, okay, I can close a lead in X amount of time. The average lead, the average close is this. So you know the value of a lead. We did the same thing just with clicks. And so we could actually feed that data back to like Google or Meta and still be able to optimize for ROAS as opposed to just traffic, which is kind of all you can do from an Amazon perspective. But then they came out with Buy with Prime, and that made life a little bit easier.
Oh, we're going to get to that. There's a lot in there. There's a lot in there.
I know. I don't know where to start.
My bell is broken. My bell. I can't stop my bell. Oh, I hit the wrong. There you go. But that was worthy of like 7 bells.
Yeah. 100% agree.
Okay.
Awesome.
So
did I win?
Tell him what he wins, Summer.
Next question. That's okay.
So, Andrew, one of the things you talk about, you just mentioned buy with Prime. Now, we were part of the whole beta, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. I was just jacked up about it. Really, yes, the conversion, yes, all those things. But what I thought was even a bigger deal, and I still believe this, is the ability to use DSP, to use it in the advertising to kind of bring people back to your direct to D2C, website.
Yeah.
To your Shopify site, to your whatever. I thought that was really the untapped brilliance of that could help. Yes, you're going to get conversion rate. Yes, you're going to make it easier. All those other things, sure, 100%. Once they get it out. But my question to you is, it was all that in a bag of chips. Now I haven't heard Bimchka. I haven't heard nothing about it in like months and months and months. There's AI is taken over as the shiny object.
Yeah, that's AI's. Well, it's always taking over. The buy with Prime side, when they first launched it, I loved the idea. I thought the execution of it was kind of like,
oh, it's terrible.
This isn't fantastic, because you had your own like, you had like the whole console thing, and then you had the code was just a nightmare. Luckily, they finally fixed it where like now you've got, at least through Shopify, you now have Mixcart. You've got obviously everything pretty much integrates relatively easily for the most part. The DSP thing to me was definitely like, for I've been preaching omnichannel for I don't even know how long now. And when they released that, I was just like, holy shit, like thank God. Like this is what I've been talking about. Like I've always, you remember like 5-10 years ago, a lot of the big things people would talk about is like, hey, can you do an insert in your product to try to, so when you're selling stuff on Amazon, can you get them back to your site? Because the goal was, how can I earn my data back, right?
Yeah.
And so when
Which
they
is
did
illegal,
this,
by the way, you're not supposed to be putting these little inserts in there.
Oh, look at some.
But I don't know who gets caught. Who gets caught?
Never heard anyone get caught from it ever.
Never.
I have heard that. I have heard back in the day. Again, back in the day, all this stuff in the Wild West. I heard some people get caught. But go on.
They'll be all right. I'm sure they're fine.
Wait, hold on. Summer, in your previous work, I think you got caught not on doing that, but there was another whole situation on reviews.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. We're here for Andrew.
Oh, did you do the whole like ManyChat thing?
Okay.
I hate.
No, we don't.
You did that.
So what I did, because it was technically not illegal. It wasn't against Amazon policy. We would have a Facebook chat to be like, hey, get free product by leaving like a get free product. You just had to show that you left a review. So we didn't, I forget what the workaround was. It was through a different agency. And then Amazon said, hey, it looks like you're getting some fraudulent reviews. And we think it's coming from you. And so we just shut the whole thing down.
Yeah.
My point, Andrew, you don't know us, but again, we're tit for tat here.
This was 9 years ago, by the way. 9. Okay.
Still, I just wanted to point out, nobody gets caught. Oh, I think they do.
Oh, wait.
We're talking about the inserts when they ship the product.
I know.
Totally different.
God. So, all right. Well, I digress. I won't hammer your ManyChat cheating. So
I was in my 20s. Things were wild.
So, all right. So you've got the old inserts, right? So I really loved Amazon as a customer acquisition channel, but being reliant on it seemed ridiculous, because one of the things that I looked at, this was a couple of years ago, last I looked at it, but this was right after all the aggregators kind of fell apart. Ooh. At that time, if you were a $10 million brand and you exited, you would leave, and you're an FBA, normal, just Amazon only, you'd exit for about a 2 to 3x EBITDA. At least that's kind of what the industry was going for at the time. Same numbers, no different, but you also have your own D2C business. It jumps to like a 3 to 5x. And it's because you've got all these assets, right? It's the asset building. It's the website. It's the social followers. It's the traffic to the website, and it's your email list. Yeah. And so what I wanted to do is like, how can I get more of that? And so Amazon was a nightmare. They give you nothing. They give you no data. They give nothing. So now that they let you run ads with DSP for if you've got buy with Prime, I love the idea of like, especially if you got subscription, retarget people that have already purchased with you. They already like your product. Let's send them back to your website. Let's get them to subscribe. Now you got projectable cash flow. You've got all their data. You can upsell them on whatever you want all day long. So if you start looking at Amazon as like a great search engine to introduce your brand to people and then incentivize them to come back to the website for whatever else, right? You can start to earn that data.
New products, and you can get them excited.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? You know, Andrew, you've inspired me, sir.
That's
I'm
fine.
bringing back Buy with Prime. I'm going to start posting
He's
my little
very
brain
negative
out.
with it. First of all, you
Okay.
were very positive for a long time.
So
With Buy with Prime.
I
You went,
do. I always try to caveat this. I'm on their advisory council, so like I'm going to
Ooh,
be slightly
damn.
biased, but they
Wow.
also don't
Bougie.
really.
big shot.
I
I know.
don't
Just
think
drops
they-
that
hold
little.
on. We got to check the linky. We got to check the link. I
Okay.
didn't see that advisory on the.
So
That's highbrow.
they don't love me because they know I love the functionality and I push it to a lot of people that I think it will work well on. But there's just so many things about it that are not great. I mean, the most obvious, which is why I think that you've kind of seen some of it die off, is you're still sharing your data with Amazon, right? Like you get to keep all the information, which is great, but like Amazon's going to get it. And almost every brand I talk to, they're like, I don't want Amazon having any of my data, blah, blah. I don't entirely agree with it, but fine.
Yes.
The other thing is you have brands that have like that kind of pastel, like Instagram fun aesthetic to them. And your Amazon Buy with Prime button is bright blue and you can't change that. So there's a lot of brands that are like, it's just not going to look good and we don't want to use it. The other side of it is while it is wildly less expensive than selling directly on FBA, there's still costs. Like it's still 3% commission plus the MCF fulfillment fees. And unless your product is like over, I think it's like $25, $30, it doesn't really make sense for anything less than that. And now they've implemented now that like if it's multiple units that someone's purchasing and you have like high unit purchases in a single order, that cost has come down. So now it's kind of like, all right, well, if you have high volume stuff, maybe that could work. But that's where it still is kind of like, is it worth sharing your...
When you're talking about like subscriptions, right? Subscriptions aren't usually high unit volume.
Yeah.
Usually. Like when you're thinking, so I'm always in the consumable mindset. So when I'm thinking about that, so yeah, there are pros and cons. That's really interesting. I've never heard it explained like this.
This is the other this is where I kind of stopped a little bit because it was on the logistics side. So multi-channel fulfillment, which has been around for years and years and years, you have to use that 2% MCF. The problem got, to your point, you pointed out, it was expensive. Yeah. And because the difference is on MCF, on multi-channel, is it's per order. It's not, it's per unit per order. That's the pick and pack fee essentially. So you have to look at that. And all of a sudden we were doing price comparisons like, well, this is a bad deal, man. This is a bad deal. Like it's going to cost us more. We could just do this ourselves. So they got more to work out. Yeah.
The math on it's tough to figure out because you also have to factor in, yes, it's definitely not more, it's typically not more expensive than your FBA fees, but it's obviously going to be more expensive than if someone just purchased directly on your website. But what we also try to factor in is what was the conversion rate improvement from you just having it on your site. Like we did a case study with them about a year or two ago where we had implemented Buy with Prime on someone's site. And if you ignore all of the orders that they got through Buy with Prime, they still saw like, I think it was like a 40 or 50% jump in conversion rate on those product pages that had it. Yeah. And you've got Amazon reviews on there. My theory is, we're all guilty of like, we're in it all the time. So like we know the tricks that everyone's doing, but your average consumer has no idea.
I know.
So
it's hard to remember that.
Yeah, when they see Amazon branding on there and Amazon reviews, and it kind of makes the site look like, oh, they're available in all these places.
Trusted brand.
Exactly. And so they're more comfortable to make the purchase on the website. And so then all of a sudden the conversion rate improvement. So now you got to factor in, okay, I got X amount more purchases because of this functionality, but of the purchases I did get, the cost of it was higher. So it's like the math on it is like, it's a whole process, but
it's a lot. You got to take in like your lifetime value of your customer. You got to add in there to see like, does it eventually pay itself off? Like, yeah, that's a lot. I'm glad you're doing the math and not me.
Well, yeah,
it is. It is good, but like family, let's they've come, they've stayed, now they've left. It's like seafood. They go bad after 3 days. Let's get out of Amazon. What, Summer? That's not yours.
That was great. I loved that. That cracked me up. It made me gag a little, but I'm good.
So we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, let's get rid of the family. Okay, they're gone.
Good.
We survived. Let's talk. I want to talk all the other stuff. I want to talk Meta. I want to talk all the marketplaces. I want to talk about e-commerce and everything else when we come back right after this.
This is Jeff Cohen, Chief Business Development Officer with Sky, and you're listening to Always Off Brand.
Welcome back to Always Off Brand. I'm hosting today, so get ready. We're changing this around.
Why don't you ask yourself a question?
Why are you so damn good looking? You still just talk on shows like this and no one watches the video to see your beautiful face.
Hey, we had 8 views. Okay, come on now.
Dope. That's awesome.
Actually,
I love that.
Wallace, shout out her. She's like 120 views. She brought it.
There you go.
All right. Love it.
Andrew.
All right. Start incorporating more visual. If we dance while we talk, will people like TikTok and people watch us more?
Have you not seen Scott's dancing? It's so bad. All right, Andrew.
I'm a good dancer. I am a good dancer. I'm offended by that.
All right.
Offended.
Okay. Well, my husband does this dance where he looks like he's in a washing machine.
Oh yeah.
I think I saw it. The great
It's
Matt.
so embarrassing. I'm like, please don't do that.
No.
Right.
You don't talk poorly about Matt the engineer. I love that man. You know I have a huge man crush on him.
I know he adores you. Let's get back. So before we took the break, we really were jumping into a lot on Amazon. We talked buy with Prime, but Andrew told this great story about Meta and how advertising outside of Amazon can really lift your brand overall. So we wanted to dive into other opportunities, Andrew, that you are seeing. What's going on in the omni-channel verse that brands should be considering?
I don't think it's necessarily what brands should be considering as much as what they shouldn't consider. Too many people go after the shiny object. Like that drives me crazy. Like you don't have to do Reddit. You don't have to do X. You don't have to be everywhere. You should in certain aspects when you can and when you put the right effort into it. But like so many people, like TikTok was the big shiny thing. So many people jumped on it and they're like, it didn't work for me. And then you find out they're like, I posted 6 times and gave some stuff to a couple influencers and we got nothing out of it. Like, well, duh. Like you've got to go into it and know what you're doing and do a lot of testing. And, social media is a monster when you do it right. You factor in posts, influencers, UGC, advertising, all of the above. It's different shops now, obviously with TikTok. So like, you've got to look at the whole thing, and too many brands just like dip their toe in it and go, it doesn't work for me. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say is like, unless you're going to go all in, don't do it because it's most likely going to fail.
Yeah, don't half-at. Cheap is expensive. It's my favorite term of just doing stuff, half-assing stuff is going to cost you so much money in the long run. We should do like a bell count. Like
you're the highest so far, honestly.
Because it broke earlier.
Well, it did break earlier. So that's not going to show up in the data. The dashboard won't know that. So you're killing it.
Great.
Go ahead. So all of this stuff, where should they go? It's not what they shouldn't do, right?
Yeah.
So what's interesting to you at BlueTuskr? You guys have some big time brands. You have some big time clients. I looked at it. They're fancy. They're well known. Everybody knows them. You guys are killing it.
Thank you. I like all of them for certain brands, right? You got to know who your customer is. You got to know where they are. But like, there's some that like you just don't need to be there. Your audience may not be on X, so like you don't have to be doing that. Your audience may not be on TikTok, so you don't have to be doing that. So like, it's just knowing where they are. I see digital marketing is becoming more and more like traditional marketing, right? You think like back in the day, like Mad Men days, like there was no question in Mad Men of like what was the ROI on that billboard I got. No one knows. It's all brand awareness. It's getting in certain places. And because we were all spoiled with, I love these noises. I feel like I'm on one of those fun radio shows.
Mad Men, just pour me a drink. Pour me. Actually, I have one right here.
All right, Scott.
What do you got there?
I got a nice scotch here.
Ooh.
Apple or scotch. I should just pour a drink. Mad Men. Just get hammered at like noon.
I love how it smells the Christmas ribbon on it.
Well, it was a gift.
Yeah,
a year ago.
Right, bring us back, Andrew. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So when you're doing Facebook, you're doing Instagram, you're doing TikTok, you have email going, you have all these different things going. And Summer, I know you mentioned it earlier too about the nightmare of attribution of, especially through like Amazon and stuff. Like when you're doing all that stuff, it's going to improve things everywhere. And there's areas where it's just not trackable like it once was. All of these fancy attribution softwares. They're glorified UTM trackers, and half of them break most of the time. They're not perfect either.
You know what
So,
I call attribution, Andrew? You know what I call attribution?
What?
Attra bullshit.
Nice.
Because you're exactly right. And it's all this last click and everything else.
Yeah.
Because the other struggle, especially from like the agency side, is you get so many different people that want to look at it differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you look at email marketing, Klaviyo, you got your attribution set to a 30-day window for some stupid reason. So they're like, oh, you're claiming all this revenue. Like, no, we're not claiming. That's what Klaviyo's doing. And then we're like, well, Google Analytics says this, but yeah, but that's not accurate either. So it's like, there's the gray area that no one understands exists. And it's such a challenge because some people really understand it. Some agree with it. Some hate it. So it's like figuring that out. But when you're doing all of these larger brand initiatives, consumers have gotten smarter, especially like overnight faster from COVID because they got used to shopping more. So now they started doing their own due diligence. Like just because you're running ads on TikTok, they're going to go to your profile, make sure that you actually exist and you posted recently. Then they're going to go to your website. Then they're going to be like, well, maybe you're on Amazon because I want it tomorrow. So they're going to go there. Then they might be like, oh, wait, you had a pop-up on your website for 10% off. So now they're going to go back to like, they're all over the place.
What were we just talking about with Jeff?
Insane.
It is. We were just talking with Jeff Cohen yesterday or the day before about that the customer journey is not linear. And that is exactly what you're pointing out. And I think so many more with the well-established brands forget that.
Yeah.
Or maybe don't know that. Maybe they didn't know to begin with. But I feel like these newer brands that are coming out, they're scrappier. They understand social more than, people in their 50s and 60s. And they're really getting like how quickly you need to be moving on this. And I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah. You'd think like the Mad Men side, right? Like back then it was, hey, here's how much our budget is for marketing initiatives. We want to see a lift.
Okay, boys. What do we have?
We're looking for new worlds, and with that search comes any number of gadgets. This thing is shiny.
Brass tacks. Who buys this?
Overall, the entire business. I don't care if they go into back then it was just stores. So like, I don't care which store they go into, blah, blah. Like that's what we want to see. Now it's like, I spent $5 on Meta and I want to know exactly where that $5 went and what I got back for it.
Is it because some asshole created tracking and that's why?
Yeah.
Is this where this came from? Because honestly, I'm thinking back. I'm like, you'd run commercials on TV and they weren't saying like, you got a lift today.
It's the blessing and the curse of the digital data. You can track everything. The marketers, right? The credit cards, this, you can tell who the behavioral. Honestly, Amazon's a big part of the root cause here because they follow you everywhere. I mean, if you want to blame, I know family's gone right now, so we can talk badly about them, but I mean, you're right, Summer. And this is where it's gotten crazy. And God, Andrew, God, you're just talking oh my, yes. God, I spent $1. I have to know every freaking penny that came back on the dollar. Just shut up. Look at the big picture.
Before we took a break, while we were in our break, you guys brought up DoorDash, and we have Instacart, and we have GoPuff, and we have Uber Eats. What's the opportunity there?
Well, for the CPG side, it's interesting, right? Like it does allow you to, it's like a search engine, obviously, right? It's no different than a marketplace on Amazon. Someone is actively making a decision. And so you want to be in the right place at the right time to incentivize them to convert. That's standard. Okay. There's pros and cons to it, especially like we've done a good amount on the Instacart side. And it's tough to evaluate, was that person going to buy your product anyway? And so it's not there's no fancy advertising in it. You're not getting a ton of data behind it and like, every individual search term and all that fun stuff. So like, it's kind of difficult to tell exactly what's going on, but it is a great way to introduce your product to someone that's obviously shopping for it and is making a decision right then and there. So there's pros and cons to it. Even the DoorDash side, the GoPuff side, I know those are all kind of newer on some of the advertising opportunities you have with them, but that's where it becomes a little bit of a challenge of figuring out like, were they going to purchase from you anyway, or were they not? But the cost per click right now is obnoxiously low. So like, you're fine. Like, just do it anyway. Yeah, like I'm a big fan, and it's another thing where everyone shits on agencies for it because I know a lot of agencies do it, but like, I'm a big fan of branded search terms. Like, I think that if you don't do that, someone else will. And then your
100%.
competitor can't find you. And they're like, oh, well, they were intended to search with me. They were intended to shop with us anyway. And they're going to regardless. But like, not if one of your competitors jumps in front of you and has a better offer. And then they decide like, I was on the fence and now I'm going to do it. So like, there's pros and cons to it, but it's the same thing on Instacart. They were trying to find you, help them make the decision.
Help them. As a consumer, I am so that way. If I do a search and something else pops up and I don't see what I was looking for right away, I'm like, well, what's this? Like, maybe I should educate myself. Like, what's this product? I 100% agree. So go ahead, Scott.
One of the biggest things to test these and do it thoughtfully, to your point, Andrew, it's so cheap. And this is, everybody drink. I'm going to bring it up again, but you know, Jeremy Dodge, when he was with his branding and now in consulting, everybody drink Jeremy Dodge. That's our drinking game, Andrew. He went and he was kind of on the forefront of these new little things, and he would test the shit out of them because it's so cheap. Yeah. And then he would try to pull something. You know what I mean? He'd have thresholds where he hit it, but he actually got some good information from that. On some product selection, on creative, on other things. It's so cheap.
Yeah. Your own branded stuff's dirt cheap. The other thing too is like, again, this is just venting from the agency side.
Good.
But like
Yes,
you get brands that are like, oh, well, you're trying to take credit for all of the branded stuff that we're doing. And so you're making ROAS look inflated kind of thing. Like, well, first of all, we're making sure that those people do continue to shop with you because your competitors keep bidding on your own terms. But second of all, we're looking at them separately. You have a ROAS for branded stuff. Then you have a ROAS for net new business. And if you know your LTV or you know the average purchase or at least how frequently they're coming back, then all of a sudden that ROAS doesn't need to be as good because you're earning net new customers. Yeah. Now, pros and cons, there's definitely different ways to look at it, but you've got to look at it in multiple directions. It's expensive to acquire new customers, but if you've got a nice LTV in place, it's usually worth it, especially from a CPG perspective.
Could not agree more. So, Andrew, what I found really interesting about your agency is that it's not a single, like there's a lot of just Amazons. I got to move my camera. There's a lot of just Amazons. There's a lot of just marketplaces, but you also build websites. Mm-hmm. Tell me, what impact are you seeing? I want to switch over to AI. This is where I'm going with this very long-winded question.
Wow.
I know. What?
In fairness, you sound like me.
I know. You know what? I was going over to the email, and so I moved our picture, and then it really threw me off that I was looking like way over here. So I know.
Tell me more.
Sorry.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Cut. What do you think the
you
impact?
and I are just sharing a brain right now. I mean,
I love it.
God,
I can't remember the lyrics to that though, but I got the melody.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Like the sea avocado.
This is embarrassing.
Tell me more, like the sea avocado.
Go ahead, Summer.
Are you going to keep
That's
that
not
in?
the line.
Probably. I'll just cut in a grease clip.
Summer loving had me a blast.
Summer loving happened so fast.
I love it. So, okay, let's get to AI. What changes are you making right now to like pivoting from like traditional SEO to having some changes that you're making due to the LLM platforms that we're seeing?
I guess the first thing I would say is I want to call out whoever changed it to search everywhere optimization. Like, stop.
What about generative
engine optimization? Like, guys, come on. Like, can we just?
We can do better.
I know we're doing like some acronym game, and I'm screwed because of the way these keep changing.
Oh my
God.
Like,
first of all, the AI thing, the way that I look at it, especially because when you first try to introduce it into your own business, people panic. They're like, first of all, I hate change, I hate new things, and then they think they're going to lose a job, especially writers, because that's the kind of the easy way to use AI. And so we kind of positioned it internally, like, look, what this is doing, it's making our junior level employees mid-level employees. It's making our mid-levels executive levels. Like, we're just elevating everyone. And if you know how to use this functionality, your job is wildly comfortable because no one's really using this. The thing that I think businesses have to remember is from the consumer side of like your average consumer is not using any type of AI potentially at all, or really to the caliber that you think they are.
Yeah.
And so you're getting like this AI overload of like, oh, every website has its own little AI thing. And then there's like an AI checkout and all this crap, and it becomes obnoxious.
Yeah.
But the way we look at it is like, if it can help us be more efficient or improve on what we're doing, then obviously we want to use it. There's areas where it's not great from a creative, like any imagery video, like it's hit or miss. If you're putting a person in it, it's probably not going to look good at all. But we use it pretty much to the fullest extent that we can, but it still really requires that human touch. A lot of it is to like every little thing that we've written 100% requires someone who knows what they're talking about to actually read it, then an editor. So it kind of depends on the direction that you're using it, but I like it. It's fun. I like to talk to it.
Well, can we switch to another thing that you do that, again, I think doesn't get talked about enough? And back to your madman, back to traditional marketing, back to old school. Freaking email, brother. Email
preach
works. Email works. I don't know what the latest data is. And if you do it right and do it collectively with and holistically with every other promotion and creative and everything else you can, I am telling you, people shit on it, but it's so critical. It works.
It's got to be part of your foundation, period.
I think your email list, your email list has got to be outside of, let's say, like profit, probably one of your second most important KPI. Like how is your list growing? How clean is the list? How engaged is the list? So many people look at your email list of just what am I getting at it from email, but it's used in 500 other things. What about all of the data you're feeding into the different ad platforms to help those optimize? What about all of the different bells and whistles that you can pull in different areas to pull data for you to adjust your messaging literally everywhere? Like your email list is really becoming more of like a customer database. Sorry, this is the joys of working at home.
No, I believe you.
Here.
I'm waiting.
I thought it was Scott.
I got 3 dogs.
You're hitting a button back there.
Hold on.
Yeah,
dog. Do I have a dog? Oh, I
do. You have a dog one?
No, I have a cat. Oh no, I do have a dog. Yeah, here you go.
All right, sounds pretty legit.
That could be like a Rottweiler.
That's what our new neighbors are.
A Rottweiler. That's what I heard.
Our new neighbors have 3 of these.
Really?
3 goats. They're adorable. Bob's one of them.
Naturally.
Edward.
Of course.
I forgot.
The third one's like Craig.
Yeah.
Kyle. Kyle, shut up.
Back to email.
Yeah, wildly underutilized. Was it like they say that it should be like 30% of your revenue or something like that?
Yeah, that's an old term, but
it depends on where you're at. Like if you're trying to grow new to brand, and it should be way less because you're trying to bring in all these new customers, and all these new customers don't exactly convert right away. And you're having a wide net. If it's too high, that's scary because then you're not bringing in enough new customers.
Yeah. The truth is, it raises that we see lifts on Amazon. You see lifts on Wall. You see lifts everywhere.
Do you think SMS is still as strong as it was when it first launched?
No, not as strong. I still think it's strong, but I don't think it's like as strong. And it's a fine line of screwing it up.
Yeah.
Because like way too many people I think way too many brands treat SMS and email marketing like an ATM. They think that the more I send out, the more money I'm going to make. And you are just hurting yourself.
Damn, you could win the bell, right? We don't
want to run.
But
I just noticed, even as a consumer, I'll sign up to get the 10% discount. And then as soon as they text me, I'm like, stop. It's just annoying. When it first launched, I really liked it. And now I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be texted with whatever you want to tell me. I don't mind the emails. I will be clear. I don't, because I can get those whenever I want. It's not interrupting my day. It is a choice for me to go into my email.
Well, the other
choice. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, Summer. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm used to men cutting me off.
Oh,
that one hit me hard. That actually that I lost my breath on that.
He's a man. He's a father of 2 daughters. So he's very sensitive to it. I knew that would strike a chord. Joking. Anyway, so I have just noticed that like I'm not using it as much. And I was just curious if you're seeing like less. Yes, it can work, but are you seeing maybe brands pull back a little bit because they're not seeing the same return as they were before?
A little bit, yeah. I've found that like the younger audience seems to still like them a lot. Like
What are you
certain
saying,
brands
Andrew?
that
What are you saying?
I'm saying
You talking 15-year-olds?
basically, yeah. Like what you expect the TikTok audience to be, like the stereotypical TikTok audience, that age, they don't seem to mind it that much. Like most of the brands that we know that kind of is a little bit more of their target, that they don't seem to mind, or at least the people that didn't unsubscribe.
I'm sorry, teenagers are stoked to hear from anybody. They just want to hear that little noise. It gives them an adrenaline rush.
Except their
Cortisol
parents.
shot.
Yeah, except the parents.
Yeah.
I think also the spamification of text is probably having some impact here because it's out of control.
It's obnoxious.
It's getting crazy.
And we're getting into peak text time.
Yeah.
This is when all of a sudden you realize how many text things you've signed up for during Q4. Like all of a sudden, Black Friday, you're like, I don't know these many companies, how they got my number. And that's where you have the super fun way of unsubscribing all day.
I love it. Give your BlueTuskr. I mean, again, you guys do everything. You're a full service, you're one-stop shop, aren't you?
Yeah. So the reason I did that, when I was in-house, I had this problem where you have the specialty agencies, which are all really good in their one area, but marketing has so many gray areas. Like your meta ads affect your Google ads, your Amazon affects your website. Like there's so much bleed over. And the problem I had was like, I could never get them to like go that extra. Like the Google ads guys would be like, well, your website needs conversion rate has problems. Like, can you fix that? And I'm like, all right, well, what do you suggest? And like, oh, that's not really our area. I'm like, well, fuck, now I got to find someone else. And so then you would have like, I think we had like 4 or 5 agencies at any given time. They don't want to work together, even though they're not competitive. And so they don't have the same processes. If you want to do a campaign like the correct way, right? Like, hey, I've got all these assets for Google and Meta and your website and this and that. You got to coordinate all of them, which was a chore. So I spent more time basically account managing my own account than actually doing my job. And so then we found full service agencies and they were crap. That was like, you're going to get X amount of hours from some kid out of college who knows a little bit about a lot. And it was just horrible.
They literally sign the contract, right? Like they just
exactly.
Yeah, you meet the person signed to your account. You're like, how long have you been at so and so? They're like, oh, I started 2 weeks ago. You're like, yeah,
exactly, yeah,
of course.
So for us, I was like, all right, there should be a happy medium here. So we're structured where everyone in their certain departments are specialized in their area. So like we have a retention marketing team. Within there are email marketing specialists. There are reward team specialists. Social media, we've got organic social, paid social, influencer teams. Like everyone's a specialist in their area.
Right.
But you then have an account strategist that's kind of like a fractional CMO to a certain extent to oversee the whole thing.
Yeah. Project
so you
manager.
can do bigger stuff. And it's the same thing from the Amazon side, because there's situations, especially you're doing like a product launch or something like that. Like, great, let's take some of this traffic from off Amazon, drive it to Amazon, kind of get the snowball effect going, pivot it back. And then they're all everyone's working together. So it's like an outsourced marketing department as opposed to like juggling 500 agencies that don't want to
and it's
be on the same
perfect for
team.
those brands that can't hire 7 people to manage all these things. You need an email and SMS manager. You need a website manager. You need an Amazon manager. You need an Omni manager. Like you need social. That's a lot for a brand to employ full time.
Yeah. Paid media alone, you think the standards, at least from an off Amazon perspective, Google Meta, right? You need someone who knows like development conversion tracking. You need a data analyst reporting of any kind. You need someone who knows Google. You need someone who knows Meta. It's rare, if at all, to find someone who knows both. You need a creative person. You need a copy person. Like you're at 2 platforms. You need 6-7 people to do it correctly. And so that's where, like, at a certain point, it makes a ton of sense to bring stuff in house. Like a lot of brands that are social media heavy, I'm like, hey, at a certain point, we're just going to consult and help you bring someone on because it's much easier to do stuff like that and faster internally. But then there's stuff where it just doesn't make any sense. So like to grow a full marketing department, I mean, some of the brands where we're basically doing everything for them, I mean, I've got like 15, 16 people that are involved in their accounts at any given time. So it's like you can't hire that many people. It's way too expensive. So keeping them all kind of fractional makes more sense.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. BlueTuskr, we'll put all the links, all that stuff. Go check out Andrew and everything else. We're going to play a new game that was debuted at E-Tail Boston called Name That Acronym, coming up next.
Hi, I'm Rob Hahn. I'm the COO of Pattern, and you're listening to Always Off Brand Podcast.
Welcome to Name That Acronym, where we give you the acronym and you tell us what each letter means. It could be lame. It might be entertaining. Here we go. Okay, welcome to Name That Acronym. I'm your game show host, Scotty O here. And this has been cleared by Haley Brucker in the news, our director of game shows. So just want to put that out there. All right, our first acronym here is, I'm going to give you an easy one. I'm going to give you a layup, okay? I'm going to give you a real good one. We've talked about it.
Wait, you didn't do the rules. Did we like say it all at the
Rules
same
are in
time?
the open. Did you not listen?
No, did we say it at the
Yeah,
same time?
I give you an act.
I
You can
know,
guess at the same time. You can team up, actually. That actually works well.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to give you the acronym. You got to tell me what the letters stand for.
I'm just trying to figure out how to win.
Okay. Here's the first one, okay? S as in Scott. SMM.
Social media marketing.
Bingo! Oh my
Boom.
God!
He's on my
I
team.
can't even get to the bell fast enough. Great job. Great
That
job.
was a layup.
I didn't know it.
I did panic for a second.
Okay, I'm gonna get. Okay, how about ESP? ESP, and again, there could be, ESP.
Is that like short for especially?
For
Email
what?
service provider.
Oh my God, Andrew!
I suck at this. All right, is this
Holy
all only?
shit!
Are these?
You get
only,
into anything operational, I'm screwed.
Is this
I'm gonna-
only Is this only like ecom
This is
acronyms?
this is digital marketing ecom right now.
Oh, okay. See,
Okay,
that wasn't
so-
explained.
How about this? Is some weird. There's some weird shit out there. Let me tell you that I've been doing this a long time. I've never heard of this. God, this is. Should I give you a really weird one? How about
No.
BOFU?
BOFU.
BO.
Bottom of the funnel.
Oh
bottom.
my God!
Yes.
True.
I saw someone sent me tofu once, and I was like, "What the fuck is tofu?"
And tofu.
What's tofu? Top of the funnel?
Tofu's top of
funnel.
the funnel.
Holy shit, boy! I mean, you have killed this.
Between all the bells and the game winning.
God damn it. Okay. SQL. SQL.
Isn't that sequel?
Sales qualified lead.
Dude, there's no. I'm
done.
gonna get harder for
I'm
him.
done.
Holy
I'm taking
shit.
myself out of this
Sorry.
game.
Unbelievable. Wow. Okay, here's a weird one too, but maybe nothing too weird for you, Andrew. ABM.
Account based marketing.
Unfucking believable.
Can we stop the game? Are we done yet?
You and I are on a team.
Is
And
that
my
what-
back
we're
is
crushing
killing
it.
me.
Hold, why don't you just hold on? Let's Summer win one. DSP.
That's not even funny. Demand side platform? Paid platform.
Demand side platform. Winner,
Right,
winner,
whatever.
chicken dinner.
That's not even funny. I feel like a loser that you gave me that one.
Well, what? I'm trying to help you out here.
No. I'm good.
All right. Thanks for
My-
playing.
My
Name
teammate's
that-
crushing it.
honestly, dude, that was
Win's a win.
crazy. That was absolutely crazy. All right, Andrew, I do have one news story that we're going to do. We'll come back with the news story. It's the biggest story of the week. I mean, you cannot, if you're in our zone, I gotta talk about it when we come back.
Hey, I'm Elizabeth Green from jungler.com, and you are listening to the Always Off Brand podcast.
Well, that's all been fun and games, but it's that time, the time America has been waiting for. It's time for the news.
Oh, and you're used to hearing the sultry tones of one Haley Brucker in the news. She's out today. She's in beautiful Sheboygan, Wisconsin, we hear today.
Hope she's getting that cheese.
Yeah, I'm sure she's eating that cheese. So I'm filling in only because we have to talk about this. This is an insane story. And it's, of course, everybody's talking about it, is Amazon's, we talk about DSP right there, demand side platform. They're opening up and partnering with Netflix. That is unbelievable to anybody who's been around, which the three of us have. Boy, they're playing nicely. What do you guys think about this?
Is anyone else doing it? Like, can anyone else buy ads on Netflix besides Amazon?
That's a great question.
I thought there's other companies that can too, right?
Yeah, there's others that can, because they've had ads running, so they're coming for others. I love it. I mean, it's gonna piss off a bunch of Amazon sellers. I don't know how they're gonna track that, right? Like, Amazon sellers are just gonna be like, cool, I got, like, it's gonna be I don't think they're gonna understand how that works.
Right.
Because you've got to your point, like, prove it, like, prove that it's bringing me money. And, like, is it going to be one of those things where, like, founders are just gonna be like, I've got ads on Netflix just so they can say they did it, as opposed to, like, it actually doing anything for them? It'll be kind of interesting.
This is such another land grab, though. You think about this. Netflix has 300 million subscribers around the world. Yeah. Now their inventory is available for brands. The other big play is it's non-endemic, right? The Amazon, the big money lies not with sellers. It does lie with brands that sell stuff on Amazon, but it's all the other guys. It's the car guys that they haven't hit. It's the insurance companies. It's the financial services. This is where this plays. And then I think and Jeff Cohn said this on his post, everything, the connected television, the CTV opportunity. I mean, think about that. Think about all the data and the behavioral and the things that Netflix knows. It's one of the biggest. I mean, it's unbelievable. That's why, I put up this funny little slide last year at E-Tail about what if Netflix became commerce, a marketplace. Now I'm like, shit. I mean, they're like one step away.
Yeah. That's interesting. I wonder how that would work.
Anyway, that's
probably be like a little button of just like literally select now to purchase, and I can see that working.
I'm blanking on his name, but when he was on our pod talking about marketplace or large language models becoming marketplaces.
Scott Wingo.
Yeah. How could I forget that name? Scott with one T.
Yes.
But you could see that with Netflix, right? If they partner with the right AI and they already have your credit card info because they're charging you every month for your Netflix subscription, it'd be very easy.
I'm telling you, as a media buyer or media manager or these other, that's just so juicy. That's just going to be so juicy.
Yeah.
That's going to be hard to pass. You're going to be, somebody's going to move some money there.
So Scott, you're always someone who preaches like, just wait. Don't jump on the new shiny thing yet.
That's
give
true.
it time. Are you feeling like that with Netflix, or do you think brands should jump on right away because the CPCs might be lower?
I think they should. I am a big fan of waiting. Let's see how this works out. There's all behind the scenes. There's probably data collection and attribution and all these other things that has to be sorted out. So I'm always like, stand back, let everybody test it, and then figure out what this is going to do.
The Apple move.
Yeah, the Apple. Exactly. Yeah. I am a big fan of I'm a big fan of that because
it works.
It's going to be a huge discussion point at Unbox. So I'm excited to just learn more there. I mean, they're going to be shouting it from the rooftops.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the biggest story, the buzz, and that's it. One story, one in. I'm out. Next, very quickly, let's see if Summer can break her record of the wrap up coming up after this.
I'm Eric Scheinkup, CEO of The Desire Company, and you're listening to Always Off Brand.
What do I always say, Scott? Be kind to your agency. I mean, did you just hear all the nuggets? And I first of all, I've never heard the bell go off that many times. It was like a fire alarm.
And that's it. Because he said all the stuff that I believe that I say. I like God. He's a kindred spirit.
But I mean, at the end, we were kind of talking about how you have to have so many FTEs. You should have that for your acronym.
Full-time
FTEs.
employee? Is that full-time?
Yes.
Okay.
No. You got to have one in order to know what that is.
That's true.
So, anyways, whenever I talk to people who run agencies, the amount of work that they are doing, and it does bring me back. And I actually do get anxious because being an agency, it's hard. It's tough work. You want to do well. You want to get that confirmation from your client that you're crushing it and your intentions are good. And you look at like how much education these people that work at agencies are getting. I mean, they are getting so much information download every day. They are incredible. And so be kind and work with them.
Yeah, preach. You know how I feel about it. It's a tough gig, but again, the brand's tough. I like the other thing we just didn't even get to is this whole omni-channel. So basically looking at the big picture and holistically all the different platforms, all the different places.
Yeah.
I think organizations internal on brands, they're moving towards that direction, which is positioned great. So great to meet Andrew. Boy, had no idea who he was, didn't know about BlueTuskr, had nothing. And why do we love this God for blessed podcast?
Because it's all about the people, Scott. And why?
Because people matter.
That's right. And thank you for listening to Always
Off
Brand. Please like, please subscribe, and for goodness sake, please share.
We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey there, this is Haley from Quickfire, and they want me to read this so you know what this podcast is part of and how to find out more if you want. Always Off Brand is a production of Quickfire LLC and a part of the Learn and Laugh series on the Quickfire Podcast Network. For more information, go to quickfirenow.com. Have a good one, and thanks for listening.